Good evening, Namaste Bharat, and a very warm welcome to one and all to another episode of LinkedIn Local India Live. Today is Wednesday, November the 11th, and we are here with a session for reskilling and upskilling, opportunities and obstacles. Couple of quick reminders to all the audience that are tuned in here today. This is a dialogue and a conversation, so please feel free to put in your questions and comments into the comment section of this LinkedIn Live. Once again, a very warm welcome to everybody that's tuned in today. This is me, Preeti Chaudhary, with my co host Vivek Chadha and our guest here today. Very soon, starting another session of LinkedIn Local India Live. With that, let me pull everyone into the stream so that we can get started. Once again, here we are. Here's Vivek, and here are the two panel guests, Santosh and Amita. And without any more time waste, let's get straight into the things. And to start the evening, may I invite my friend Vivek. Vivek, the evening is all yours. Let's get rolling. Let's start the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you today. It gives me immense pleasure to announce the next LinkedIn Local India Online. The theme for today is reskilling and upskilling opportunities and obstacles. My name is Vivek Chadha, and I, along with Preeti Chaudhary, will be your host for today. We have a stellar panel lineup today, and I'm very happy to introduce them. We have with us Santosh Khate, Managing Vice President and Head HR of Gartner India. And we have Amita Lunagaria, Manager Technical Support at Informatica Inc. Today is a special event where we get very, very interesting insights from two very, very special guests. I heartily welcome our panelists and I thank them for investing their time to joining us today. I also thank the audience for coming and participating in today's LinkedIn Local India Online and hope that you derive immense value from the same. Please keep your questions ready and put them in the chat box that you see at the bottom of your screens. So without much further ado, I request Preeti to introduce LinkedIn Local to all of us. Thank you. Preeti.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you for that. A quick recap of what exactly is LinkedIn Local India. To put things in perspective, it is a LinkedIn property, an online to offline meetup concept wherein members who are connected to each other or not yet connected to each other meet up physically to connect, communicate, and collaborate. In the last 7 months, in the unprecedented times that we are living in, all that has happened is we've moved the whole process virtually. And so here we are in this virtual edition of LinkedIn Local India Online. This is a LinkedIn Local India live reskilling and upskilling opportunities and obstacles with our two guests, like Vivek says, Santosh and Amita. Now, a couple of things. There are 50% representation of women in the panel today. So there's 50% men and 50% women. If we plot the locations of today's panels and hosts, then you will reach a figure of inverted L or a 7 because Santosh is located in Bombay. Me, Preeti Chaudhary, I'm located in Jabalpur and Vivek and Amita are located in Bangalore. So that makes a number 7 or an inverted L. Now, before you start lynching me or think, have I gone mad or crazy? None of that, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is all about data today. Because you see, the session today is based on empirical data, clear cut insights, and everything that the industry has said to Gartner Inc. and Gartner India on the whole about this particular topic. So, I hope things are clear. I am not cuckoo. I have not gone gaga. It is just to put things in perspective that we will be talking all things data, all things insight. So, with that, let me invite our first guest today. My dear friend Santosh, like I said, who is from Gartner, India, located in Bombay. Santosh, please tell us a little bit more about your thoughts, personal, professional, and everything else in between on our particular topic, which is very topical and very relevant in today's day and age, being reskilling and upskilling, opportunities and obstacles. Thank you for coming here today, and it's over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. And, now, which is reskilling and upskilling, talking about opportunities and obstacles as well. Let me start off by festival brings happiness, good health, and prosperity. Data points that I will be referring to that we have from various Gartner research. Has
Santosh,
stressed businesses.
Santosh,
Yes,
Santosh, sorry. There seems to be some sort of a, interference. We can hear you partly and we cannot hear you partly. So maybe if you want to try a headset while we are sort of waiting for you to do that. Oh, you
this is
have one.
better.
Okay. Yes,
This
it
is
is
better.
better. Absolutely. Maybe just leave that and maybe we'll give it a go again. If something happens, I will come back to you. No issues.
Sure.
We totally understand everybody is working from home. It's not in our control, and our audience is very, very understanding. And thank you, dear audience, for that. Back to you, Santosh. Thank you.
Awesome. So let me know again if my headset needs to be changed or if I need to alter that, Preeti. So as you rightly mentioned, Preeti, my conversation or my thoughts.
No, Santosh,
And
I think we should change it. I think if you just
okay,
go, yeah.
let me hold it this way. Maybe this might be
Okay.
easier.
All right. Okay, go for it. Thank you.
Okay. Reset, uh, reducing or reducing some activities. They're shifting capabilities and capacity. They're switching production facilities to create suits. Uh, and as we know, the nature of work is evolving well. And we are on the cusp of a fourth industrial revolution, as they call it. Will significantly disrupt the work. Technologies such as AI, data analytics, and IoT will be key enablers for organizations in the next decade. As a result, these. However, the interesting aspect is that rapid changing technology leads to a sudden change in skills as well. Points I'd like to share with you. Nearly three-quarters of jobs had more than 40% of their required skills change. In the past 3 years alone, percent of employees learned a new to work skill, which was up from 34% a year back. 82% of jobs had more than one-third of the required, at least 10% new required skills. And employees think that 19% of skill sets will be irrelevant in 3 years. 19% of what they're doing right now as part of their job will be irrelevant in 3 years. Now, given many of the skills that are applicable now,
Santosh, Santosh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. It is coming and going. Really, we can barely make out because what is happening exactly is, voice is coming and then it is going. So can't make any
oh
coherent
gosh.
sense. If you
Mhm.
want to maybe remove the headset at all and just go direct on the laptop, maybe that would help. Do you think? It's
Sure,
absolutely
I'm
fine.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Just
know if this
let's
is
try
okay.
this.
Is this fine?
Yes, absolutely. I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Absolutely, I can as well.
Please go for it.
This
Yeah,
this is much better.
yeah, and please just start from the beginning again. It's absolutely all right. Thank you very much.
So let me start off from some data points that I shared some time back. Nearly three-quarters of jobs and more than 40% of their required skills changed between 2016 and 2019, indicating that static profiles are no longer an effective way for organizations to think about building the future of workforce. In the past 3 years, 43% of employees learned a new two-word skill, which is up from 34% the previous year. And in just the last 4 years alone, again, the amount of labor market research that we conducted shows that 82% of jobs have more than one-third of their required skills disappear. 22% of jobs gain at least 10% new required skills, and 73% of jobs have at least 40% of their skills changed entirely. Now, that's the kind of impact that we're seeing in this new world. And given many of the skills organizations thought were critical some years back are no longer applicable now, this is a problematic trend as well. And that is basically that JVs don't reflect, when JVs are created, they're created based on skills on that moment. And they don't account for skills that are required in the future and how they inevitably evolve. So by the time an organization fills a position, the skills needed are already changing. And this is also concerning the HR leaders at this point in time. So over the last year, given COVID pandemic, many employees have gone from worrying about how to fill potential skill gaps to how to stay afloat as COVID-19 pandemic has wreaked its own kind of social and economic havoc. So there's another research that Gartner did a couple of months back. We surveyed more than 800 leaders, HR leaders, 36% of whom were CHROs, working across major industries in over 60 countries to identify their priorities for 2021. And interestingly, what came up on top of the heap was building critical skills and competencies, as 68% of our respondents called it out as the most important priority for 2021. Now, given COVID-19 has worsened the reskilling challenge, there are some more challenges that HR leaders and organizations will have to go through when they talk about reskilling. Some of the obstacles here. 36% of HR leaders don't really know what skill gaps their current employees have. That's an interesting challenge to have. We're talking about reskilling, but 36% of HR leaders said they have no clue yet of what those skill gaps are. 33% of the HR leaders don't know how to effectively integrate learning into employee workflows. And 31% said they can't create skill development solutions fast enough to meet evolving skill needs. Now, we're all talking about how do we need to upskill and reskill, but there's another challenge here, how support organizations are doing, which is they're still figuring out what needs to happen, how they need to catch up with this trend as well. So, some more data again, there's been a 10% year-over-year increase in total number of skills required for a single job. That's a really fast change in terms of what's happening year on year. 33% of the skills that were present in an average job posting in 2017 won't be needed by 2021. Which means one-third of the skill of a particular job that somebody was doing a couple of years back will not be relevant 1 year from now. What does this mean for organizations? And while I kind of come to an end towards my thought, I think this basically means that organizations need resilient leaders more than ever. So there's an organization sector, there's an employees, and there's a leadership bit as well that needs to upskill and reskill. And one skill that organizations are asking for or needing from the leaders right now is resilience. And to foster resilience, leaders, of course, will support personal level, team level, and at institutional level as well. Leaders also need to learn how to better lead during ambiguity, how to identify and secure needed resources for their teams as well. So, summarizing what I said over the last few minutes, and looking at what it means for organizations and what it means for strategic plans. For many organizations, the 3-year strategic plan may be gone. A strategic plan usually used to be for 3 years or 2 years. I think that stage is gone. And that's what Gartner research says. And planning is a very almost important. So I guess that's where we are heading as we get into the future. It's not about saying this is what we want to do over the next 3 years. It's about saying what do we do quarter on quarter. And thanks to COVID, it's kind of pushed us into that side. And I think it's a great opportunity for organizations, for all of us as HR leaders, and for employees as well. Continue to upskill with this. Back to you, please.
Thank you for that, Santosh. And facts based on data, there's nothing like it because it is all which is coming out from people. All the inferences are real life experiences for which things have been experienced. People have gone through the learning curve. They have drawn out their own learnings, and then that is how they have shared with you. You have collated it and then presented it for the rest of the world. Indeed, last 7 months have been totally different, totally out of the box, and something which we will never ever experience in our whole life again. A thing of a century once in a while. So that kind of a thing. Thank you so much for those insights. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions that will be coming in from the audience, but we will take them by and by. Before that, I would like to invite our next panelist, and that is Amita. Amita, based on your personal and professional experience in terms of skilling, reskilling, upskilling, right from going into STEM and then yourself learning new skills, watching peers, watching team members, watching people in the pyramid sort of do all of these things. What are your views on this whole process of amalgamating all of these thinkings and then coming up with your own inferences? So it's over to you. Please shed some light on reskilling and upskilling opportunities and obstacles in today's day and age. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you can hear me clearly. Hi. Hey, first of all, thanks to Preeti, Vivek, and team definitely for inviting me on board today to, share my thoughts on upskilling and reskilling. As she gave me, the brief introduction, I'm Amita. I'm working with Informatica organization since I would say from my fresher journey. And basically, our organization, delivers enterprise data integration and management software, powering analytics for big data and cloud. As we all know, right, many businesses are moving to cloud to provide reliable service to their customers, planning to automate their processes for, increasing productivity and saving cost. And our company strategy is also aligned with the same, is CFCN, cloud first, cloud native. So definitely there are ample of opportunities available at Informatica, considering the great plan ahead of us. Look out for your profile and opportunity at our portal for active hiring is going on. Coming to the the topic of the day, upskill and reskill. I would start with like what really I think what is upskill and reskill means. I would say upskill aims to teach employees new skills to optimize their performance, right? But reskilling we can some say like it's a recycling. Which really basically train employees to adapt to a different post within the company. So moreover and overall we can say that upskilling is like refresh, revisit your new learning and keep yourself up to date with the technologies, right? Where reskilling is like retrain yourself to make sure that you gain the different skill set to adapt to new responsibility within your company or organization. Now one might be thinking that why it is need of an hour, right? I think Santosh presented well all the data and fact, right? And that itself shows that it's going to be a key factor. Companies and organizations believe that employees are nowadays lacking, communication, collaboration, leadership, proactive thinking skills. And when world around us is moving and progressing towards the digital world, digital transformation, right? Of course, upskill and reskill is going to be a key factor. Like I said, many businesses are moving to cloud. We are looking for reliable services for their customers. If we look at the world, it's moving towards the subscription model, from the on-prem world, where purchase is going to be, very specific or for limited period of time, and then they will resubscribe based on their experience, their demands, right? And that really shows that, of course, there are are going to be high demand for highly skilled the staff. Like Santosh said, there are I would say 68% companies invest in reskilling and upskilling training to handle changes within the organization, or I would say new technologies, right? And of course employees also hope that reskilling and upskilling is going to positively affect their job level, productivity, of course growth within a company. It works as a motivator, and it helps in gaining their confidence. uh, when we talk about this, the skill, I would say there are 4C, basically the critical skill that are very important in adapting to a new work environment we all are observing. It's going to be like creativity and innovation, critical thinking and problem solving. The other two common skills would be communication and collaboration. So with all these skills, I mean, what are we going to really achieve? Why we really need to upskill and reskill, right? Like I said, it's definitely going to help mitigate the job losses. It's going to make sure that employees are well engaged in this time. It is going to create competitive advantage, of course going to improve productivity of your staff, and at the end the ultimate goal is increase the customer satisfaction. So while going through this journey, of course there are we can see a lot of opportunities, at the same time lot of obstacles are going to be there. Of course being up with change time is a challenge, right? But it needs to be accepted to be in the current market. Upskill and reskill is, to me, I mean, it's not going to be very specific to just technology, right? Rather, I would say it's applicable anywhere, whether the field that you are working, for the organization or the technology, the area that you are looking for, right? If we look at this way, the reskill and upskill is like opportunity with respect to any changes around you, and make sure that you adapt to it, right? If we look at this current situation, I think none of us, whether organization or employees, were really prepared for this kind of a change that was coming in front of us, where I would say in a day or a week, right, all of a sudden everything just went into new virtual environment acceptance, right? And I would say organizations are doing their best to make sure that people are well connected, comfortable, and did their best to provide even help and clarity to the extent possible, right? And at the same time, of course employee has gone through a big change where everything moved to the work from home environment. That some challenges, if we look at, right, of course time is going to be a challenge with the virtual environment. We can say many people might have gone through a lot of stress. They are trying to extend their working hours, they're trying to balance their work and life balance. Another challenge, I would say, at the same time, organizations are definitely putting a lot of, and they're investing on people, and there would be of course expectations of immediate outcome. May not be immediate, but the patience would be required. But if we look at the different aspect of all this opportunity given by organization, right, I mean, I would say definitely it varies from organization to organization. But if I look at my own experience, right, which I can probably give some example, of course, there are a lot of things that has come out, though there were a lot of things already done before, but new ideas, new things, for example, a lot of trainings, whether it's online, offline. The organization is making sure that enough online courses and the materials are available to employees. There are some Coursera or some free subscription given to all the employees, so that they can go out, explore things on this kind of the portals. Take regular survey and feedback from the employee to see what really employees are looking for in this time. If there are concerns, could be just system related concerns. Are their managers accessible or not? Understand people and their pulse, right? And make sure that they are clear on their goals, and are they aligned with the company goals. So of course, there are other challenges, like people are also trying to manage their personal and work life balance. But this kind of survey really helps to understand their pulse and bring in new changes if needed over a period of time, which will definitely help in improving the existing systems, right? So there were a lot of changes with respect to reimbursement policies. There were a lot of new ideas. Something was interesting is, let's say manager Mondays we had, where one of the manager or the expert, they will share their ideas and stuff to see if it's something help their team, and if it will help other team also. or other managers to lead their teams through this time. A lot of virtual event, fun activities to have employee connected with each other, during this time. Of course, these are the the changes I would say required, because there is a say that where my reason, imagination, or interest were not engaged, I wouldn't or couldn't learn, right? So keeping these things in mind, at the same time, like employee also needs to make sure that they are well aware of their goal and work on upskill or reskill to fit yourself into this goal, which will be definitely aligned with the organization goal. With that, definitely I would like to end with very simple quote is there, you have to value your skills and not just the degrees. Over to you,
Very,
Preeti.
very valid
Thank you.
point. Thank you so much, Amita. Very valid point. Value your skills, do a lot of internalization. I think it is all about also resilience and agility in terms of reinventing yourself. When the tide shifts, it is all about how we reposition ourselves, how we are resilient, how we adapt, how flexible our mindsets and our skill sets are, and that will sort of stand us in good stead. So, with that, I think we have a very solid base established now in terms of, the context has been set for this evening today. The topic, the reminder once again, very quickly, it is all about reskilling and upskilling opportunities and obstacles. Our guests here today are Santosh from Gartner India and Amita from Informatica Inc. We have come to the end of the first half of our program, which was all about them sharing their views from their personal and professional experiences around the topic today. As we move into the second half, I am passing the baton on to Vivek again, who will take us through the next proceedings. Back to you, Vivek. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. And thank you, audience, for posting the questions. We have a comment from Rohan Chandra who says, good points. Uh, okay, we have a question here. And I think first this question can be taken up by Santosh, and then we can go to Amita. The question is, do you think the current talent available is up to quality expectations of the industry? And if not, what steps can be taken? And Santosh, if you could add some data points here, that will be very helpful.
Sure, it's a very interesting question. And I'm taking forward to where Amita she said it's not about degree, it's about skills. And I think that's exactly where this question is leading. And the answer to that question is what Amita mentioned. It's not about adding more skills to your adding ability to your output. It's about making yourself more employable. And that's the difference. One is knowing what to do, the second one is knowing how to do it. And there's a slight difference between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, and that bridge conversion is what is really important. And that is what makes an individual employable. And question again, coming back to that question, is the quality of talent available at this point in time good enough? I'm not calling good enough or not good enough. I will say is that relevant to the role. Because when we apply for a role, we end up looking at okay, the role seems to be matching what I have on my skill set. But usually there are certain differences or nuances every role needs that a candidate may not have. Like if it's a developer role or if it's a HR role or if it's a marketing role, it's not just about the skill set. But there are a lot of other things that which make a candidate employable or not employable. A big part of that are the soft skills that you bring to the table. And let me answer that question again by saying that when you start off your career, you start off giving a lot of importance to your technical skills, hard skills that are required for you to be successful in the role. If you're an accountant, your knowledge of finance concept needs to be really, very strong. But as you grow, as you spend more time in the accounting role, as you get into towards the CFO role, in addition to your accounting technical skills, there are a lot of soft skills that need to be added on. So as you spend more time in the role, the reason we are success goes away from technical, it comes a lot of your soft skills as well. So even if it's 80-20, I'll turn it around and say, as people get more senior, your technical skills matter less, but your soft skills matter more. Skills like managing stakeholders, influencing people who are not part of your direct chain of command as well. Plus, as I added earlier, resilience. I think these are two key traits that organizations will look for when they're hiring somebody. So it's not about whether I'm good enough in the role or happy enough skill sets. Also look at how you can make yourself employable by having certain things that make sure that the organization will want to hire you. Back to you.
Thank you, Santosh. Thank you for those points. Amita, would you like to throw some light on that?
Sure, Vivek. Yeah, so I think like Santosh mentioned, right? If I look at this way, right? I mean, we cannot say there is a specific talent required. Of course, there are some core technologies, but then, as you said, right, it can be both technical, soft skill or the technology skills. And if we look at the current time, right, there are few skills, like I said, required are definitely communication, the collaboration. We never know that in our future resumes, people might end up putting up that I'm very good at communication and collaboration while we are in this virtual environment. So these are the also skills which are very important, which they might be looking out for, where they might say that how do you articulate is very important factor, right? We are in virtual mode where it's very important skill that what you want to communicate or articulate and how the other side is able to perceive it, right? And another thing would be, even if you don't have a specific skill, I would say that the organization, whether it's for experience or for the freshers, they are giving enough time, whether if it's internship, it's a 6 month to 1 year extended, where you have enough time to explore yourself, whether it's a practical or theoretical knowledge, understand what is expected from you and how well you are fitting into the organization, right? And then I think improve your skill. So if you are ready to jump into, right, and bring out your inner strength, your inner the hidden skills, and if you're ready to accept any change around you and adopt it, right, I think any skills can be either reskill or upskilled, right? Doesn't matter. So I think, but if your fundamentals are clear, which is going to really stay forever with you. If we look at today, maybe some technologies needs are there which might change around in 2 3 years, right? And that's the reason upskill and reskill is not one time, it's going to be forever. But if you are ready to accept and change yourself around it, I think that's the way go forward. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Amita, for those points. We have another question, and I would like both of you to answer this briefly in under 2 minutes. What are the upskilling frameworks used by organization to ensure that the workforce is future ready? Santosh, you may start, please.
Sure, Vivek. It's a very interesting question, and I think a very deep question as well. Now, clearly, what we're seeing is the impact of AI, which is kind of uh, forcing us to upskill some of our roles as well. But while we're looking at AI impacting some of the roles, there are certain parts of our roles that can't be impacted by AI, at least not immediately in the near future. There are certain skills like social, creative, and digital dexterity skills that can't be imitated by an AI. Not yet, as I said. Again, I might have to eat my words maybe in a couple of years from now, with the rate things are changing and moving. So again, if I were to look at how this could impact the future of roles, for example, there are certain skills which are very, very task oriented. Again, for example, accountant role. These are rule based roles. It's very easy for AI to take over uh, and replace. Whereas if you have a role like, let's say, a marketing role, or let's say a role that requires human thinking to come in, it's going to be very difficult for AI to come as well. So I'd say when you're considering as an associate who might be worried about reskilling, upskilling, imagine how much of your role can be taken over by AI and how much can it not be, at least as I said in the next couple. So I'd say that's a framework that I require. It is simple at this point in time, it's not very complex. Uh, uh, Again, a rule of thumb. Uh, how much is simple and how much is complex? How much can't be replicated by AI? Where do you really need human intelligence? That's my response.
Great. Thank you so much, Santosh. Fantastic answer there. Amita, please. Over to you.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, I will just add few points to what Santosh mentioned. What framework, as you said, organization must be might be using. I think few points I did cover in my speech as well. Definitely, I would say it again varies from organization to organization. But like he mentioned, that these are the core technologies, right? AI. I think cloud is the future. ML, and definitely they are making sure that there are enough of online offline trainings available, either it's internal training or provide free subscription, and make sure that employees are getting what they are really looking from them, right? It's all about I think utilizing the opportunity. If the option is given to you, what you really want to take out from it, and the utilize it. So yeah, I mean, that's something on us. If you are ready to go for it, the take those kind of challenges and upskill yourself. I think all the materials and all the options are available. I would say there are enough mentors, enough guide available to you, right? But again, it's you who has to decide your path, right? I think somebody can just walk you through path, you guide you, but you are the one who is going to decide your path. And so you have to definitely utilize the all opportunities given to you by the organization.
Great. Thank you so much, Amita, for those points. Um, okay, so we'll move on to the next set of questions. I'll ask Preeti to take them over, please.
Thank you very much for that. And we have an audience question. Let's bring it up. Here is Rohan Chandra. Ma'am, sir, can you suggest some important skills for engineers, especially electronics background, which are most reliable and relevant as per today's industry demand? Open to both of you, please. Whoever wants to go first, they can go, and then the other person later. Over to you, Amita.
Sure, I can take it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, like I said, right? I mean, I know, the in the beginning time or the fresher, you might pull out the skills that you have during your interview, or let's say during the beginning journey, right? But what I would say is, like I said, the basic fundamental skills are important, right? I mean, I don't think even organization would be expecting you to have a expertise on what technology they are having, right? What they really look for in your skill is what fundamental core fundamentals you have. So I would say there might be a lot of strength you have. Believe in yourself and your strength. Bring out your hidden skills and work around it. Just don't go with the flow that everybody is going for this job, or everybody is doing this, so let me also do this. No, just try to come out of your comfortable zone. I think the skill that they will be looking for will be very very core fundamental skills. Once you come to the industry, of course you are going to reskill yourself or upskill yourself according to the need of the organization, right? So yeah, I mean, that's my point.
Okay, thank you. And Santosh, what would you like to add to Rohan's question of, basically skills for engineers, electronics background, today's time? Over to you. Thank you.
Sure. And I think Amita's brought the point out. I don't think there's one skill or two skills, that technical skills at least, that will define success or failure. I still put a lot of emphasis on personality, on character, because the technical skill will get you through the first part of your career. And a lot of people, after the first 5 years, come back and say, Santosh, how do I now take my career to the next level? And that's why I say, what really matters in your career is going to be your personality, kind of character that you build that allows you to stand out from the rest of the crowd. And I'm responding to that particular question. I'd say, again, I'm not a technical expert, so please take it with a pinch of salt. But what I've heard and what I believe, a couple of things that will help you stand out: design thinking, that'll make sure that you're going to be successful. You're able to build certain products that will stand out. Second one is agile, of course. That's something that I'm proud of. But I'll come back and say technical skills for the first 5, 7 years of your career, but what will really bring to you is the kind of personality and character that you bring. That's going to be long lasting.
Okay, thank you. And I think my next question is directed to you again, because I guess it will be drawing in from a lot of those inferences that you have been doing research on in the past 7 months. What are some of the new job roles or functions that are emerging right now, or we will see emerge in the new future? Over to you, Santosh.
So, interesting question again. I think this is a question that will have a very generic response at this point in time, Preeti, because within organization, within functions, every function is evolving. If I were to talk about the HR function, which I'm part of, I've seen this evolve over the last 50 years. Within each function as well, within HR, the way we used to hire 20 years back is so different the way we hire at this point in time. I'd come back to the same thing around performance management as well. I come back to the same thing around onboarding. I think some of those priorities for us 20 years back were so different, but the priorities for the HR function are very, very different at this point in time. We're talking about upskilling, we're talking about engagement, we're talking about competency development. Some of these things a few years back, people would have looked back and said, "Why would employee experience be so important? We have a great office, we've got a great culture, and that's all done." So I see some of these changes happening within the HR function as well, and that's where the priorities as well. Uh, Especially with COVID now, employee experience is becoming a big thing. Culture, the HR function is becoming a big thing. That's being talked about. How do we now bring to life culture in an organization? People are working from their homes. Because in the office, it's easier to bring to life culture. You have an office or infrastructure. You do home. So I think it's a function of which department you are in. The example that I'm giving is from the HR department. Given I'm working there, in that. Uh,
Thank you very much for that, Santosh. And my next question is to you, Amita.
Okay.
What are your views on how the demand for digital skills have picked up most recently in the last 7 months or so? What do you think that is, and how is the way, and what is the way forward for demand for digital skills, please? Over to you.
Yeah. So I think at least if we look at this last 7 to 8 months, definitely the word is revolving around the digital transformation, right, and the virtual environment. So digital skills specifically, as I said, right. I mean, digitization is going around, and we will need to definitely upskill and reskill ourselves towards those kind of skills. But like I said, there are no very specific skill that you really need to be aware of, right? If you with experience, I think with the current experience or the phase that we all are going through, if we look at this way, we are going to develop the skill over a period of time, and yeah, I mean that's all I have.
so
Okay, and yeah,
if I may step
you
in,
would
Preeti,
please,
and
please,
then
please, please go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, there is some data that I had seen some time back, and if I get the numbers right, especially digital skills in demand beyond tech companies and outside of IT. I don't know if this is going to help answer the question, but there are three things that have seen a huge growth within the IT department and within business areas. And then this is artificial intelligence. The growth, all of the growth that I'm going to talk about, the three areas is over 100, 150, 200% growth that we've seen over the last couple of years. So one is artificial intelligence. The second one is robotic process automation, if I recollect it. And the third one was data science and data analytics. I can reconfirm these three areas, but I think I'm 90% sure these are the three ones that are where the demand is growing almost by 150, 200% year on year.
Okay, Again, can't fight with data. So absolutely brilliant insight right there. Which brings us to the end of this session, but I will not let you folks go away without giving a little bit of your thoughts and advice to the audience that is tuned in today in terms of future of work and future skills. Again, going around the topic of reskilling and upskilling, opportunities and obstacles. So I will come to you first, Santosh, and then I will move to Amita. Over to you. Thank you.
Sure, Preeti. Let me cite an example from my own career. I've been in HR for 20 years now. 5 years back, I got an opportunity to move out of HR into a business role. At that point in time, I was thinking, should I do it or should I not do it? And I did a business role for 3 years. I moved out of HR, moved out of my comfort zone. And those 3 years were possibly the best years of my life in terms of learning. The first 6 months, I had no clue what I was doing because I was in front of clients. I had no clue what to say. I had no clue how to lead a sales team. I had no clue how to lead a tech team because all I had led was HR professionals. But at the end of 3 years, I become a stronger HR professional. Now I'm back in the field of HR. I know what my stakeholders want. I know what my stakeholders think. Because for them, if I go with an HR activity saying, "Hey, you got to do this as a tick box," I wore the hat of a stakeholder when I moved out of HR into a business role. So, if you have an opportunity to go out of your comfort zone, please raise your hand, throw the hat into the ring, take that opportunity, move out of your comfort zone because growth is out there, out of your comfort zone. That is where you will grow. That is where you will upskill. That is where you will add value to your own career as well. You can always come back to the comfort zone like I've done. But going out there, throwing yourself out there is what I'll advise everybody to do, at least once or twice in their career. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. And Amita, coming to you, your thoughts around future of work, future of skills in terms of skills and also upskilling, reskilling. Over to you.
Thanks. Yeah, I would say I think Santosh did still my thoughts. So, yeah, my thought is on the same line. Like he said, that uh, same happened to me where I always used to feel that I can work as an individual contributor, but I don't know how to manage the team, or it's not easy to be up to the people's expectation, etc. Right? And then when 3 years back, when my manager said that no, you have all the skills and you have to definitely take up the team and manage it, right? That was kind of a shock for me. But definitely, I would say that when we definitely don't grow when things are easy, right? I mean, of course there are going to be a lot of opportunity when you bring up something new and challenges, but we definitely grow when you face the challenges. So I would also say that don't try to be in comfortable zone. Yeah, go out and explore things. That is where I realized that I definitely had a lot of skills to manage people, work, great collaboration, bring out your inner strength, your hidden skills, and if you work around it, definitely you yourself can find your path forward. So overall, I would say, I mean, if we keep ourselves focused, what's our priority, and if we really work hard on it, everything will fall in place. Like there is a say that of course success comes before work only in dictionary. Hard work is required everywhere, right? And especially to the fresher out there, my only advice would be, just don't go with the flow. Everybody is doing, I also need to do this, right? But keep yourself ready to adapt to any changes around you. Keep yourself ready, and that's the way to go forward. Bring out your inner strength, and that will definitely help to build your path ahead.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that. And what calls out to me from these pieces of brilliant advice is basically, again, being flexible, being agile, being ready to change and adapt, because that is the only way forward, as change is the only constant.
Constant.
So, with that, we have come to an end of this session. It's time to say our thanks. So, first of all, a big thank you to the audience. If you were not tuned in today, then none of us would have been here. So, heartfelt gratitude for tuning in. Thank you to the dear panelists, Santosh and Amita, for coming and sharing your time and valuable insights with us. Vivek and I thank our streaming partner, Echo Events, our LMS partner, Easily, and our digital partner, Reboot Digital. Until the next time, from our side, it is stay indoors, stay safe, and be well. Take care of yourselves, and we will be back with another session of LinkedIn Local India Online very soon. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.